Our area here in New York City, lead prevention, interim head of NYCHA, Department of Environmental Protection after Hurricane Sandy, emergency food czar during the pandemic. The list and credentials are long, and those are just some of the positions that Kathryn Garcia has been put in charge of.
Well, now the lifelong New Yorker and former sanitation commissioner is looking to be the next mayor of the Big Apple, and she joins us this morning to share her vision for the city. Kathryn Garcia, good morning. Thanks to see you. Great to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Yes. Okay, so you've held some top positions at New York City agencies.
Just a few.
We just named a whole list of them. Most recently, the first female commissioner for the Department of Sanitation. What made you want to leave that position to pursue running for mayor of the city? Because we talked to you back then, and you did mention that you had other things on the mind.
So I decided last year that the city is in a number of crises, and we need somebody at the helm who understands how city government really works and can deliver effective services to residents, because at the end of the day, they're the customer, and that's what I do.
You know, during the pandemic, we know that you served as the emergency food czar, right? You had a dual role there because you were also the sanitation commissioner. But yesterday, I want to talk about what you were out and about doing, because we know food distribution and insecurities is a big issue. And we're about a year into the pandemic. So in that time, 200 meals have been distributed. Does that number surprise you? Is that good? Can we do better?
Oh, no, I think that the number tells us that the need is just incredibly great, even a year through the pandemic, that people are still hungry. And we are not making it easy for people to get the resources they need. And, you know, I really think that we should be putting food pantries out of business because people have enough money to go buy their own food, but we're not there today.
All right, and just want to remind folks that these meals, I mean, 200 million, that is a huge number for the city of New York. So what have you learned that really best prepares you for running a city this big and complicated?
Right. No, city agencies and city services are very complicated. How do you put together a program that is delivering 200 million meals? I have real vision about where I want to take this city, but a deep understanding about how to make it work and how to ensure that we are really coming out of COVID robustly.
You know, I want to talk about issues that the city is facing right now. Besides the pandemic, anti-Asian hate crime, something that has really been put in the spotlight. We've covered it over the past year, but really zeroing in on it because the numbers are skyrocketing at record speed here, and that is not a good thing. As a lifelong New Yorker and a person who was raised in a diverse household, what are you going to do to help problems like this?
Yes, no, this has been unbelievably tragic. It's not new. But it has gotten significantly worse. I've been out at rallies and candlelight vigils to make it so that we are all standing up together as New York City, saying we will not allow hate to divide us, that we will come together and protect all of our communities. Anti-Asian hate is up, anti-Semitism is up. We have to make sure that as a city, we are standing up and saying no to that. But we also have to ensure, and when I'm mayor, that these communities are safe. How
do you do that?
You can't walk down the street. You have to make sure that you are looking at the data, you are encouraging people to do the reporting of hate crimes, but that we are prosecuting hate crimes. But you also see an NYPD presence on the street so that folks feel like they can walk down the street or take transit. That is incredibly important. It's foundational for our city.
Do you feel that we had Police Commissioner Shea on last week, who said he feels the numbers are actually underreported, which is what you're saying, to urge people to come forward and report. Do you feel there are enough police on the streets right now, on the subway lines, where you're seeing the issues play out?
I feel like there needs to be more. And I am very concerned that it is underreported because if you don't have the information about where it's occurring, it's hard to ensure that you have the resources, that you have PD visibly on the street protecting people.
Yeah, it's really important, too, because typically in many Asian American communities, crimes are simply underreported, unfortunately. So let's talk about crime and all these problems that we kind of briefly discussed. Crime, homelessness, mental health, affordable housing. There is a long list. How do you begin to prioritize that and really dive in and make a true difference instead of just, you know, a lot of folks, we hear campaign wishes, but we need to see some results and some real tangible efforts put in place.
Yes, no, I think that is one of the critical things that I bring to the table. I don't just make plans, I execute on them. We know that we have to bring our economy back strongly. that we have to make sure that small businesses are supported. I've come forward with a one city permit as well as a micro lending program. But you can't do that if people feel unsafe, if kids are not back in school, if the streets aren't clean. These are the types of essential city services that lay the groundwork for New York City to thrive. And your priority has to be getting those right every single day, regardless of what the season. And we know that New York City will come back and can come back strongly, but leadership matters.
And speaking of that leadership, do you have your own people that you have for these top positions, right? Because looking forward right now, safety in New York City is top priority on New Yorkers' minds, as is education because of what we've seen play out the past year. So schools chancellor, police commissioner, do you have your own people?
I have my own thoughts about who I would like to put into those positions, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I'm running my race to make sure that I win in June.
Understood. And before we let you go, I think this was pretty big news, and I was actually really surprised to hear it, and I want to get your thought on it, and it's very serious here. The choice of bagel, Kathryn Garcia bagel, named in your honor. What is the Kathryn Garcia bagel?
Oh, so it is my bagel order, which is like an everything bagel with cream cheese, lox, onion, tomatoes, and capers.
Oh my goodness, you are speaking my language. That's my favorite.
Yes, I think that this is really like the way to go. We got to come together. Bagels, pizza. It is really quintessential New York.
It's going to bring us together as one people.
Hold the capers. Hold the capers. But California said they hold the capers.
That's the key, right?
California said they had the best bagels. It's a whole debate. We'll see.
No, it's not a debate. Not a debate. New York City has the best bagels.
Facts are simply the facts. I'm going to order myself a Kathryn Garcia bagel for sure.
She will.
That's
great taste.
All right, Kathryn Garcia, thank you for being here this morning. And Pix 11 is your local election headquarters. I'm sure we'll continue to talk to you until campaign season is over.
I'm happy to come on anytime.
Good.
Well, we like hearing that. See you soon. Take care, and we'll be right back.
Take care.